We are live, motherfuckers. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I don't have to be quiet because no one here is sleeping. So, it's going to be a good night. All right. I will give a couple of minutes to let people get in here. What up? It's happening. Seattle Kraken, massive fucking win. Before I even get into any of the notes on the game, which is basically like who scored a goal, answer everybody, who had a point, pretty much everybody. I'm gonna have a quick drink. So if you have a beverage, whether it's alcoholic or not, doesn't have to be adult. I highly encourage you to join me because welcome to fucking Kraken Pod After Dark. And this is Thanksgiving Eve edition, which means your boy has had some drinks. It's been a long day, but we're drinking some red wine. It is the holidays. I'm very, very, very excited. So quick pause really quick to have some wine. Whoever's here, I encourage you, join me or, just watch me. That's fine. That works too. Here we go. Gotta love that Trader Joe's fucking Pinot Noir, baby. All right. I'm just going to get right into it. I feel like a lot of people are still catching up on the post-game stuff. I don't give a fuck. All right, we're rolling. Massive, 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 massive win. And before I get into the notes on the game, you know what? I'm just going to say this. I know that San Jose, you can argue, is the worst team in the league. The reason why this game made me feel good is because we are clearly not on that level. The Kraken might be like a mid team or whatever the kids say. Mid, it's Lit Bay fam. The Kraken might be like a middle of the pack team, but they are certainly not a team on this level because holy fucking shit. If we think we have it bad, imagine being a San Jose Sharks fan, especially this year. They came into this game tonight winless on the road. That winless streak will extend because the Kraken beat the brakes off of the Sharks, 7-1 to be exact. They also came into this game with a plus minus on the season so far of minus 49, lost by 6 tonight. Quick math. They are now at minus 55. Now the Kraken are minus 18 on the season. They end up winning by 6, push that to minus 12, still in the negative. Listen, we're just talking fucking stats at this point. But plus and minus is a big deal. Like goal differential is a big deal. And the San Jose Sharks are not a good team. Flat out, period, point blank, haven't won on the road. One of, if not the worst in the NHL, minus 49, now minus 55 in the plus minus, all that stuff. This is a game that the Kraken should have and did win and also do so convincingly. This is a get-right game. This is a game against an inferior opponent, which, by the way, that's why I feel so good about it. Because the Kraken did what they should have done, and it also showed me and us watching the game, Seattle Kraken fans, it showed us, oh, look, this season hasn't gone the way we've wanted it to go, but we are not that, because what the fuck is that? I mean, San Jose legit looked like Jeff's beer league team. In fact, I think if Jeff went out there and played goalie for a period, it would have been an upgrade. I mean, San Jose looked bad. They looked so fucking slow. And I was like, I can't tell if the Kraken are skating fast or if San Jose is really just this bad. I would love to play them for the rest of the season, every fucking game. Absolutely incredible. This is a game that the team needed. You needed just a complete blowout victory. The only downside is I really wanted Decor to get the shutout. I almost put money on it. And I'm going to fucking come at Root Sports for this because Root Sports started posting a graphic and talking about a shutout early in the third period. Not okay. What the fuck are we doing? Is this amateur hour? This is year 3 of this Seattle Kraken existing. Like you don't say the S word. You don't do it. Like if a pitcher is on the mound, right? Let's go back to, King Felix days. If King Felix is on the mound, and he's throwing a complete game no-hitter, Are you mentioning that in the broadcast? Fuck no. You know what's are his teammates mentioning it? Hell no. You know what's happening is he's going to the bench and he's sitting at the end of it by himself because he is fucking laser focused. The only downside to this game is I wanted Decord to get the shutout. I almost put money on it, but I didn't because I'm a true fucking fan and I don't bet on my own teams, even if that's a good thing, because I don't want to jinx them. In fact, I'll tell a really quick story. The last time I ever bet on one of my teams was I put a bet on the Seattle Mariners to beat the Oakland Athletics. Rest in peace, going to Las Vegas. It's a goddamn tragedy. I bet money on the on Seattle Mariners to beat the Oakland Athletics. I remember exactly the scenario. It was James Paxton. He was fucking hot, and he had just come, like his last start was a monumental win going into Oakland. They were trash. Seattle on a heater. Like the team was fully healthy for the first time, like all season, but they were looking really good. This is, obviously a handful of years ago. I'm referencing, Big Maple. Anyways, long story short, I kid you fucking not. And the people who are Mariners fans are probably going to remember this game. I want to say it was the first inning. A line drive was hit that came right back at Paxton and hit him on the fucking pitching arm, which ended up taking him out of the game. So Seattle Mariners had to scramble, throw a guy in there last minute. And long story short, they ended up getting shelled. And the Oakland Athletics, again, rest in peace, end up hammering the Seattle Mariners. And I'm like, I am never betting on my own teams again. I believe in that shit. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. Anyways, I'm going to have some wine. By the way, to everyone here, thank you. Love you. What a fucking win tonight. I'm going to go over notes on the game here soon. If you have any comments or anything you want to talk about, please drop them in here. I have the comments pulled up. Also, drop a thumbs up or whatever, helps out with the algorithm and all that shit. I'm just fucking pumped. It's Thanksgiving Eve. I just spit. I've been drinking some fucking wine. The Seattle Kraken just blew out the San Jose Sharks, and this is a fucking game that the team needed, that the fan base needed, that we all can feel good about and take and sit on and just feel awesome about it. And I could not agree with this more. We absolutely needed this game. And I've already said this twice, and I'll say it again. Yes, this season has not been what we have wanted it to be, but you look at a team like San Jose, and now we can unequivocally, big word, which is crazy because wine brain, we can unequivocally say we are not that, because we played that and we are not on that fucking level, thank God. And it actually, you know what? With Thanksgiving being tomorrow, I will give thanks. I will give thanks that this Seattle Kraken team is not as bad as maybe I even thought they were, because we saw what a bad team looks like in the NHL tonight, and it wasn't the Seattle Kraken. It was the fucking San Jose Sharks. I mean, that fan base has to be struggling. I mean, legitimately like a junior varsity squad out there. Those guys were look like they were skating around with fucking cement in their fucking boots. I don't know what the deal was. I'm about to go over notes in the game really quick here. Please keep the comments coming in. If you like this or whatever this shit. I don't know. Like, I'm not good at this stuff. Just give a thumbs up. But whatever y'all want to talk about, drop in the comments. Like, we're going to talk about the game, talk about whatever you want. I have some wine. It's Thanksgiving Eve. This is Kraken Pod After Dark, and we're fucking rolling. So give me a second here. I'm going to have some wine. I'm going to go over notes in the game, and then we'll go over comments here in 2 seconds. Pulling up the comments now. Also, I'm pretty sure Jeff passed out because I fucking texted Jeff like in the middle of the game. I was like, hey, man, giveaway on Twitter is looking good. Kraken are kicking ass. Like, what a good night. Happy Thanksgiving. Crickets. Jeff fucking hates me. I'm convinced this guy wants me to just be out here fucking doing things on my own. That's okay. We're going to talk about it. There's no fucking way in shit Jeff passed out at 10 o'clock. If anything, I think it's Christmas Eve. Jesus Christ. There's the wine kicking in. I think it's Thanksgiving Eve, and Jeff and his lovely wife are probably pounding a lot of wine while they let the kids run around until they knock themselves out. All right, here we go. Notes on the game really quick. Again, Seattle Kraken end up winning 7-1. fantastic game. 12 Seattle Kraken skaters end up with a point. The third line tonight scores 4 goals. Ellie Golvanen, our fucking boy, ends up having 2 of those. And by the way, with his scoreless streak, which I think was at 7 games, I could be wrong on that. If I am, please comment, let me know. Like his nickname is Golvanen for a reason. We all saw what he was capable of last year. I mean, it was one of the biggest steals across the league for us to basically get him from Nashville for nothing, for him to do what he did and what he's obviously capable of. I mean, the guy was a first-round pick only a couple of years ago. For him to break the goal drought of his and to get the 2 goals tonight was massive because, again, this is a game the team needed, the fan base needed, but from an individual skater standpoint, you want those guys to get their confidence going. Like, oh, yeah, I still fucking have it. I'll drop 2 goals on you tonight and be on Hattie watch. Just a fantastic. And also it came at a time as a response goal because I really thought that Decord was going to get the shutout. Again, if I were a betting man who bet on my own teams, I am a betting man, but not on my own teams, I would have put money tonight on Decord getting a shutout. It didn't happen. It's all good. All right. I made a note of this during the game on Twitter. I'm going to make a note of it again now. Going into tonight, the Seattle Kraken plus minus on the season so far, minus 18. Not good. San Jose, minus 49, and also hadn't won a road game all season. Guess what? Now they're minus 55, and they're like 0-9 on the road. It happens. Let's start off the game. Turbo, breakaway goal. Unbelievable. Taps it in. Let's hit fucking puberty. Taps it in. 5-hole. Made it look so effortless, and it happened so fast that, like, as soon as I turned on the game, he was already scoring. Absolutely unbelievable. Almost immediately after that, Father Canner scores a goal. It's overturned because of offsides. Whatever. Joey fucking Decord. Big Dak energy. And by the way, you know what? Like, this is a weird thing, but like you watch every game and you pay attention to the social media accounts and all that stuff. The admin of the Seattle Kraken tonight were fucking spicy. So shout out to that team, because for them to post the photos of Joey Decord with Big Dak energy on the official Seattle Kraken account was like, those are my motherfucking people. And I was like, oh, tonight's going to be a spicy night. Because if you guys are like, if you're getting the green light to be able to tweet shit like that out, like, it's fucking on. I'm loving the level of confidence. So give me all the fucking Big Dak energy, pro Joey Pod shit all fucking day. He had a great pass up the ice that started a breakaway. Gord ends up putting a shot on net. The rebound comes right to Bjorkstrand, and that dude is a sniper. He does not miss. Open fucking net for the most part. He ends up scoring. Right after that, Big Cat goal. Now it's 3-0. Right after that, Yanni Gord goal towards the end of the first, 4-0 Seattle Kraken. Star of the second period, Father Canner. He gets hot again. I mean, he has it. I guess he's really like never like not hot. Father Canner, so hot right now. Father Canner is unbelievable. And you know what? The puck doesn't fucking lie. This one is not overturned. Father Canner gets his goal. Absolutely unbelievable. And then this is the moment of the game that I fucking loved that we need to also talk about. But Turbo's fight with Burrows is incredible. And, you know, obviously I'm not at the game. We're based in New Orleans, but you're watching the broadcast, and whenever you hear you watch enough games, you can see the crowd kind of reacting to things before they get called out on the broadcast. So as I saw the crowd kind of standing up and it gets louder in the middle of the play on the ice, I'm thinking to myself, there's definitely a fight going on right now. Like, there's a tilt. I want to see what's going on. But the reality is I'm usually very underwhelmed by it. I'm underwhelmed because the reality is the Kraken aren't really a team to look particularly impressive when it comes to a tilt. So when they, mentioned Turbo and Burrows, I was thinking to myself, okay, they're going to pan over and it's going to be one of those things. Holy fucking shit. I was so happy to be wrong. That camera pans over, and at this point, Burrows has fallen on the ice. Turbo has his sweater completely pulled over his head. and is lifting him up by his sweater. Burrows is almost unable to defend himself and is completely blind. And meanwhile, Brandon Tanev is just delivering right hook after right hook to the face. Unbelievably impressive. The refs got involved. They almost got rocked in the face a couple of times. He was on a fucking mission. I mean, that honestly might be like the best Seattle Kraken win when it comes to a tilt on the ice. It was incredibly impressive. It was not what I expected whatsoever. And it was one of those things where it's like, not only did the Seattle Kraken kick ass tonight, gain some confidence, you can feel good about themselves going into the break tomorrow before the game on Friday, but they also had a moment where the team showed toughness and Turbo beat the fuck out of somebody. And that stuff matters in hockey. I was really happy to see it. I was not expecting to see that. Like Melissa just said, captain energy. And yeah, I totally agree. But we're not naming a captain because Jeff is wrong, even though he said I was wrong because I'm new to hockey. And that's fine because we're going to move on past that. I'm not thinking about it a lot. I'm not going to bring it up to my therapist. I don't have a chip on my shoulder. No, it's cool. Moving on from there. Golvanen ends up making it 6-0. Again, this is all third period. Shortly after that, the Kraken ended up losing the shootout. I was bummed by that. Again, I really thought that Decord was going to get the shootout tonight. Like between him playing really well and the San Jose Sharks being a bottom of the barrel team, I just thought it was a possibility. Again, I almost bet on it, but I did not. Reverse Kraken shit. So Kraken shit being we always give up response goals when we're still celebrating our own. Reverse Kraken shit. How about Golvanen getting his second goal of the game almost immediately after the Kraken lose the shootout? I mean, even at the lowest point of the game tonight, we weren't even allowed to dwell on that because Golvanen ends up scoring. He makes it 7-1. And I'll say it one more time. The third line tonight ends up having 4 goals. 12 Seattle Kraken players end up with a point tonight. I mean, the Seattle Kraken end up getting a massive win. They get the 2 points. That's going to be huge for them. They need to get this momentum. I swear to God, the biggest thing with this team is momentum and consistency. I want to see them take this win and take this confidence that they hopefully got tonight. Oh, shit. What up, Sasquatch? And hopefully, sorry, I'm just talking to myself. What up, motherfucker? Let's go. And hopefully take this win and take this momentum and be able to use it for the next game on Friday. And I'll make a prediction right now. I think they're going to be able to do it. And I say that because this was a get-right game where the confidence of the Seattle Kraken players, I feel like, really got the boost. Like, the turbo fight against Burrows was fantastic. Golvanen ending his drought with 2 goals tonight was fucking huge. Just there were so many things that we saw. I thought Maddie was going to score on 3 separate occasions. It was absolutely fantastic. Father Canner ends up getting a goal despite his first one being negated because of an offsides penalty. Adam Larson ends up getting a goal. I mean, that was freaking huge. I mean, this team, a lot of guys I feel like that need a little bit of a break so they can get out of their heads and just skate the way we know they can skate. I thought that was what the Kraken really needed tonight. So this wasn't just a win against a bad team. This was a good team because I do think the Kraken are a good team. I really do. They just haven't played up to their ability, and their issue is their consistency and their inability so far to take momentum and build on that. But we know the talent is there. We absolutely know that it's there. This is a good team with really good skaters that took to fucking town and took, what's the analogy? By taking them behind the fucking barn and they beating the shit out of a bad team and showing us the fan base, which, don't get me wrong, showing the fan base like, hey, I know it's been a hard season and you've really questioned us at times. We are not this. We are not the San Jose Sharks. So you don't have to worry about that. Sorry, replying to Sasquatch again real quick. Like the video, y'all. Also, if you haven't already, boys play like they were the better team. Hey, man, you sub to us, motherfucker. No, yeah, bro, Mike, we already have. I've already subbed to your channel, dude. Come on now. We support you 1,000,000%. I love this comment from Lee about Maddie's better days are coming. Absolutely. I don't have the stat in front of me. If anybody is able to pull that up, that'd be fantastic. There was a stat when Maddie started getting hot. Was the goal against Vancouver, scored again against Calgary, And then he had a 2-assist night. I think that it started to turn for him. Wait, no, I meant you guys. I'm not even sure what we're talking about right now. Oh, yeah. So you had we got you, brother. All right. Love you, man. I love this comment about Matty's better days are coming. There was a really good article that Kate Shefty for the Seattle Times did about how the Seattle Kraken are hoping that Matty Beniers gets hot. And it came out right after the game against Vancouver, which was a huge win. First regulation loss for Vancouver at Rogers Center all season. Seattle Kraken, a complete game start to finish, 4-3 win, which, by the way, I pointed out on the podcast. The episode came out yesterday. Last week in the 4 games that they played, every fucking outcome was 4-3. Whether the Kraken lost or won, it was 4-3. That was a weird fucking week that I would very much like to not repeat, because those losses against Calgary and against Edmonton were brutal and they should have been wins. We're moving on past it. We're in good vibes right now. Things are going good. We can focus on the positive. But there's a great piece that she wrote about how things started to really turn for Matty. If you watch the game at Arizona, where he didn't score, but he's doing a lot of the right things, and he had a 2-assist night. He's been able to build off since then. This dude's coming in hot. So I've had a few drinks. I meant sub to your channel. Yeah, man. Sub to the channel. Let's go. We've subbed to yours. Please bring on the drinks. I fucking love it. Brother, by the way, speaking of drinks, if anybody has them, because it is Thanksgiving Eve, I've killed off a bottle of wine. This is all I have left. So I'm going to pause really quick. And there we go. Also, Sean Bellman, that's hilarious. 4-3 all last week. As in every game, the result was 4-3, win or loss tonight. 4 + 3, 7. There you go. The Kraken dropped 7. The last time they did that against Carolina, October 19th. There you go. Random stat for you. If I miss that date by a day or two, whatever, because I'm going off the top of my fucking head right now. And I've also been drinking. So, we're just keeping it real. All right, here we go. I think I covered all the notes on the game I had tonight. I'm just fucking pumped. I mean, again, this was a game that I was talking about this on the podcast, but it was a game where I'm like, this could go either really good or really bad. And fortunately for our mental health, it went really good. And I say that because everyone knows for the most part, how bad San Jose is, right? Now, the Seattle Kraken have been hard to kind of put a finger on. There's nights against Vancouver where you're like, oh shit, when this team plays to their potential, we can beat anybody, which is how he felt about them last year. Look at the epic road trip that they had where they rattled off 7 in a row and end up, shutting out the fucking Boston Bruins on their home ice. I mean, we're watching that happen and we're like, oh my God, what is happening right now? Like Martin Jones is the best goalie in the league and we can't lose. Now, not sustainable, but that was an example of a team that, when playing at their full potential, could legitimately beat anybody. And that was the team mentality that carried them throughout the playoffs, that knocked off the Colorado Avalanche, whose fans still like to come at me and Jeff fucking bitching all the time, and then calling us idiots, which is hilarious and awesome. Moving on. And take, Dallas into a late series into the second round. I just think it's phenomenal. And we've seen glimpses of that this year. There was the win against Carolina. That was huge. There was the game against Canucks that I just mentioned, where start to finish, it looked like a really, really good win. But for the most part, it's been a Jekyll and Hyde scenario. It's been a scenario of oh shit, look how good this team is. Look at what they're capable of doing. The boys are starting to get hot. They're starting to feel confident. And then right when you think they're going to start to roll, they fucking shit the bed. And they just kind of throw us for a loop. So yeah, I don't know. It's been hard. Basically, my whole point is this: it's been hard to get a beat on this team because it is very Jekyll and Hyde. And I think on Twitter, right? Like Kraken Canada, he tweeted out something, I think earlier last week, that was this team is like Jekyll and Hyde. Dude, yeah, I've been 100% in agreement with you. I agree with you 1,000,000% on that. I've been saying that for a minute too. It's one of those things where it's because every night we don't know who we're going to get. Are we going to get the team that does this to a bad team to be like, we're not fucking bad like you're bad, and we're going to fucking show you. We're going to get our confidence up. Or are you going to get a team that gives up a 2-goal lead to Edmonton in the third period, or that can't beat Calgary at home despite being the better team because you decide in the third period you're going to put 4 pucks on net compared to their 15? Like, we don't know what we're going to get, and that's incredibly frustrating. But I will say this, I still fucking love them. I love the shit out of these boys. It's impossible to not love these motherfuckers. I love them to death. Ride or die with the Seattle Kraken. And that's why it hurts when they hurt us, because we love you. So love us in return. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. From Sean. Joey, you now know that regardless of what happens Friday, we cannot hit the panic button yet. That's pretty cool considering everything. Still keeping it. Still keeping the panic button day. And listen, as not Jeff, I don't know why. Like Jeff, I don't know if he like forgets or if he's fucking with me. I actually think he's just kind of trolling me in person, which would make total sense. I think like Jeff is fucking with me because he keeps being like, so if the Kraken beat Vancouver, huh? I'm like, dude, I'm not basing it off the one game. I am giving that date because at that point in the season, as somebody who knows puck, that was sarcasm. I think that we've had a big enough sample size to get an idea of who this team is, and I want to get a good idea. And the reason why I'm still keeping that panic button date, listen, man, I'm going to look at the standings. I'm with you 1,000,000%. I'm with you 1,000,000%. But here's the thing. And this is not me being fucking a negative Seattle sports fan. In fact, I'm going to look this up as we're talking right now. I'm going to look this up. It's not me being negative. I consider myself a realist. I think right now it's easy, and I'm guilty of this. I do it all the fucking time, and I have to check myself. It's easy to get caught up in the moment of a win or a loss, right? So tonight, I'm riding fucking high. It's Thanksgiving Eve. I've had a bottle of wine. The Kraken just beat the brakes off of the San Jose Sharks. Guys are fucking getting hot that we want to get hot. We've been waiting for that to happen. And it's like, okay, now we're feeling good. You know, let's see what's going. Let's go, boys. We're feeling good about ourselves. Now, what happens when they come out to win? Let me say if, because I'm not predicting them to be bad. I'm never rooting for them to lose. Ever, fucking ever. But, example, everything's looking great right now, right? We're riding the high of a win. That's what humans do. Now, what happens if Friday Vancouver comes into town and beats the fuck out of us? It's going to be right back to like, I'm not saying, you know, because we try to be good vibes only, but it's going to go right back to being like, shit, man. Like, we played a bad team, we beat them, then we faced a good team, and they got revenge on us for what we did to them in the Rogers Center. Like, it's going to be like, this is how, like, then it's so, at the end of the day, there's 82 games in a season. Like, the narrative around this team is going to change throughout the year. And honestly, it's hard to not get caught up in it because I'm guilty of that all the time. I try to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. So it's not about, I don't know. It's hard. And you know what, dude? I think you're level-headed because I agree. Like this comment right here, for like not about the moat. We are keeping pace even in our minness. Minness is accurate. It's definitely been minness. I'm going to take a look at the standings here in a second. Actually, you know what? They're kind of pulled up right in front of me. The Kraken have 21 points in the season. They're 1, 2, 3, 4th in the Pacific at the moment. They are 9 points behind the Vegas Golden Knights. We are somewhat keeping pace. Hey, by the way, I forgot who it was, but someone the other night, Kraken Pod After Dark, was like, I actually don't mind us going into overtime and getting the 1 point. It's like, well, I do because I want the win. And at this point, this is after the Calgary game, which was the 8th overtime game on the season. There was a stat that I pulled up, and it was like the Seattle Kraken have lost 3 of their overtime/shootout games while also being the team that's led in the third period. That's a problem because that's 3 more points in the standings. And honestly, if we had those 3 more points, we'd still be 4th behind the Kings, but we'd only be 1 point behind them versus 4. Just throwing it out there. It's a little bit of perspective. I'm just looking at the standings really quick, but I agree. Like, my issues with this Seattle Kraken haven't been subsided yet. And that's what I've been beating the drum on. And I think this is perfect timing. I didn't even mean to segue into this, but this is why I love this comment from Lee is great. They have to finish games when the next 3, Vancouver, Chicago, Toronto, conference restored. Big ask, massive games coming up, but I couldn't agree with you more. My biggest issue with the Seattle Kraken so far is, and again, good vibes only. Tonight was fucking awesome. Again, there's been moments where I have really, really, really questioned this team throughout the season. And I think it's justifiably so. I think anybody should be allowed to, because we're allowed to be skeptical. I mean, shit, we're 20 some odd percent or whatever percent through the season. The Kraken currently sit at 8-5. This is the first time that they've been 500 all year. And so, yeah, they're 4th in the Pacific and they're 9 games behind Las Vegas. With that being said, Eichel, by the way, had an amazing goal tonight to win it for Las Vegas. With how good they're playing, like 9 points could be the fucking Grand Canyon. Does that make sense? Like, I mean, those boys, they don't lose a lot of games. So we're going to have some shit to figure out. I think it's been fair to be critical of the Seattle Kraken so far this season. They've given us reason to pause and to be like, is this a good team or a bad team? Like, what's really going on with them? But what I love about tonight is that we played a bad team and we showed the fan base and the NHL and whatever else that, hey, we're not them. Like, we are not the fucking Sharks. So yeah, but yeah, I agree with you, Lee. Like, we absolutely have to find a way to finish. The PK has to get better. The boys need to find a way to finish. And this is the big thing. For me, it's a mindset thing. Stop playing to lose and start playing to win. Because the Kraken a lot of times, I don't say more often than not, a lot of times has the lead going into the 3rd period of the game. Why in the shit are those games going to overtime or shootout? Like, let's get rid of that shit, man. Like, keep doing what you were doing the first 2 periods. Like, whatever's working is working for you. And that's why I think tonight is so big, because I think we're going to get some of that confidence back and some of that swagger back. And I think we can channel that shit and use it in future games. Give me that consistency and give me that motivation to keep moving forward. I think we can definitely do it. Those loser points have really helped us a lot. It's crazy. Dude, it's nuts. It's fucking bananas how much but it's also so infuriating, because you look at, like the majority, if not all of the overtime games, and you're like, should have won. That's an extra point, should have won. So it's us like tricking ourselves into being like, we still got the point. Well, we should have had 2. But I'm with you 100%. They do help out a lot. From Sasquatch, here we go. And by the way, everyone that's here, I'm sure probably already subscribes to Mike's channel, because he's fucking fantastic, and also follows him on Twitter. But if you do not, for whatever reason, which again, I highly doubt, please do, because he's amazing, provides great coverage, and his YouTube videos look a lot better than this shit I have going on right now, where I'm just pounding wine and sitting in what looks like a jail cell. So please, by all means, here we go. 500, baby, and solidly in a wild card spot. From a quote from ECH Emerald City Hockey, and I love those guys too. Here you go. In the salary cap era, 76.3% of teams that were in playoff position on U.S. Thanksgiving made the playoffs. By the way, I fucking love this, because I don't read any of the comments before I put them up, because I just kind of do shit on the fly. That is why I set the panic button date for the 24th, because this time of year, and that's a great stat by ECH. I fucking love that. I'm going to tweet at them later and shake their hand and find a baby to kiss like a politician. The reason why I love that stat is because it backs up what I've been saying, because the 24th for me isn't about the game against Vancouver. It's about the fact that at this point in the season, the day Thanksgiving or the day after, whatever, we have a big enough sample size to understand if this is a good team or a bad team, and if this team is going to make the playoffs or not. Period, point blank. Like, that's just how it is. And so I love that, because that's where I'm at right now. And so when Jeff was like, how do you feel about the panic button date? I'm like, dude, I'm setting that date because I think we have a good enough idea of who the Kraken are by that point, and I can make a decision. I can't wait to talk about it. I already can't wait to record next week's fucking podcast episode. That's where I'm at right now. Yes, the Eichel goal was bonkers. I hate to admit it, but Vegas is fucking good. I mean, they're really good. I mean, Eichel's a beast. Buffalo done fucked up. All right, so many comments. Here we go. We're not catching Vegas, but we're going to win the Pacific. We're ridiculous to begin with. Yeah. I don't know who said that about if any. I mean, did anybody honestly predict the Kraken to win the Pacific? Because if so, you're smoking fucking crack. I mean, like, seriously, go to a clinic. You need some fucking help. With that being said, I appreciate the homerism. I really do. I love that shit. I mean, I do a podcast with Jeff Lasso of all fucking people. That guy is so positive sometimes. I'm like, do you even see what like the real world is? He's just like, do. I love him to death, but goddamn, that guy's Mr. Positive. Anyways, moving on. Yeah. And you're right. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Well, actually, technically today's Thanksgiving. And the day afterwards, Friday. So get my days mixed up. The Kraken are not going to win the Pacific, but do they have a really good chance of making playoffs? Absolutely, yes. I cannot wait for the day after Thanksgiving when I'm making leftover sandwiches with turkey and cranberry sauce out of the can because fuck the homemade shit and fucking dressing or stuffing. We call it dressing down here in New Orleans, by the way. We have oyster dressing, super Merlotron dressing. I'm so excited. Tomorrow's my favorite fucking day. I have to get running. I'm calling it because I'm out of wine. I have to fucking piss like a racehorse. I think we've covered everything. Again, Kraken Pod Fam, love the shit out of you guys. I love guys, gals, whatever, right? Like, love the hell out of you. It was great to see Sasquatch on here. I think this is the first time that he's popped in on Kraken Pod After Dark. I love that he's having pre-Thanksgiving cocktails. The man fucking deserves it. He's a good dude who works his ass off. Subscribe to his channel as well. I'm about to go piss myself. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope your Thanksgiving is fucking amazing. Ride this high as long as you fucking can. 7-1 Seattle Kraken. If you have an adult beverage, please enjoy it. I love you guys. I'm sure I'll be tweeting tomorrow, and we'll see you on Friday against the Canucks. Fook the Canucks. That's where I'm at. Let's fucking go. Melissa, I see your chat. I'm jealous you're going to be in Chicago. That's going to be huge. Happy fucking Thanksgiving to everybody. Let's go Kraken. We're so far right now. We're in a playoff spot. This team's on the up and up. Let's beat the Canucks on Friday.